Hi guys, welcome to Millennial Movie Fan Channel. My name's Tyler. Today's movie review is going to be for New Mutants. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit the thumbs up down below, the like button. It really helps out the channel. And also hit subscribe and share this video around to all your friends and family on all different social medias. That helps out too, and that way they get to contribute to the movie conversation and come talk movies. Man, I know there's been a quarantine and stuff, but like, what month is it? What year is it? This movie finally came out. Oh my god. New Mutants got pushed back. It had issues behind the scenes with the story, I guess, crumbling, falling apart, being rewritten, the cast coming back, doing reshoots that took forever, and they're like older now because they're kids, or at least younger. I mean, they're like my age, but craziness. And then this movie finally comes out. And I think my expectations for this movie were so low that no matter what it did, I would have felt like, so it wasn't as bad as they said it was. There was like no way I was going to be extremely disappointed with this movie because I just expected it to be terrible and the worst. And the reviews are coming out and they're like, it's the worst X-Men movie ever. The worst X-Men movie ever. Bernie Sanders. And I don't know if it was. I don't think it was worse than X-Men Origins. That movie was awful. This one just had one-dimensional characters and was a lackluster story and had a bunch of other little technical issues into, but I don't think it was the worst X-Men movie. I don't think it was like unwatchable. It was a bad movie. It wasn't a train wreck, but don't get me wrong, I'm not going to run back and go watch this movie again. Probably won't even buy it on DVD. Not that anybody buys DVDs anymore. I just think it's so disappointing that this cast is like amazing. It's like an all-star Avengers team of young actors that are like up and coming in other things, are on top of their game in the things that they've been in, and then they come together in this movie. It's kind of like blah. And I want to get deep into the story because I think that this movie, for all its faults and some of the things it does right, deserves to go into spoilers and stuff. So I'm gonna get really deep into what happens. So spoiler alert, I'll probably put it up here just from now on for the rest of this video. If you don't want to hear any spoilers or know what happens in this movie, I would click off, and I'll see you in the next video. So the plot of this movie is that Mr. Sinister, who they like hint and allude to and are like my employer, or they do kind of shit like that, on TV and stuff, he is experimenting on young mutants who are developing their powers for the first time. Supposedly when that happens, they're super like kind of unstable. They're a danger to themselves and others. It's cool that he was exploring that. I hope that we get him, like, if the X-Men are in the MCU or in some kind of capacity in a film, because he's the only X-Men villain that the Fox universe didn't really touch on or explore, and I'd like to see him fleshed out in a film. So the mutants that are being experimented on are being told that they're there for their own good, which is not the truth. And the mutant that is holding them there is kind of like a Nurse Ratched type character that I like that they kind of did that. It was kind of like one flew over the cuckoo's nest. A new mutant comes in the facility, doesn't really know what her powers are yet. She's just starting to figure stuff out. And I think it's unclear, by the way. It's just kind of like it's just happening, and things are happening in this movie, and you don't know why they're happening. They give you a little bit of insight, but they're like vague about her powers are kind of making the deepest, darkest, like, fear in your heart, like, come to reality or something like that. I don't know. But they're seeing things that they're super, super afraid of manifest in front of them, and they're like, oh my god, and they gotta fight off, like, their nightmares. So that's an interesting concept if you do it right. It was kind of weird. Like I said, they didn't really explain it good. They should have had better dialogue kind of explaining what was happening with that, but one of the characters brings that to light, and all the other characters have to deal with the repercussions of what her powers are, so it makes them not like her, and they end up getting out at the end because of her powers and because of this demon bear that she's afraid of, which I guess is a storyline from the comics. Seems a little cheesy. It seems like something Star-Lord would fight on Ego's planet in Guardians 2, but they end up fighting that. It's just weird. It was done really well with CGI. There is one scene where it's like in the light and it looks like a real bear and not a demon bear, that it looked fake. but the CGI was really cool when it was just a big monster like killing everything and ghost-like. So I like that. I mean, it is what it is. I guess part of a pre-established thing, but it didn't fit the tone of the movie, which was going for like even like horror movie vibe. That's what they said they were going for leading up to this movie. So they had that. There was some kind of creepy shit that happened in this movie. It was just kind of a little bit out of place. It felt weird. This movie had its share of problems. Right from the beginning, there is a scene that ends up getting explained. It's the one with her dad dying, the main character, and they're running away from the bear, but the shaky camera is so disorienting, and you have no idea what is going on in the story. You have no idea how to follow this, or what to follow, or what's going on, and they're running, and everything's shaking around them. The camera's going upside down and backwards, and all around, and flipping out, and there's stuff flying by, and you can't like focus in on what's going on. And they end up telling you anyway what happened. So it's kind of like they wasted all the time showing you. It's a storytelling device that you can use to have something happening and you don't know what's happening, and then later it gets more context to it, and you're like, oh, that's what that was. That didn't work in this movie, especially because they took the lazy way of making it like panicky. To show panic, you don't have to shake the camera around and whatever, like jostle it around. I feel like I'm on a roller coaster. Like, I hate when they do that. They do that in all these different movies. Like, stop doing it. And it's something that people hate. They hate like the lens flare that J.J. Abrams does, and they hate the shaky cam. And I'm not only all up in arms about it. Here I am ranting about it, but it was just, in this movie, it was so annoying that they did that right in the beginning. I was just like, oh my God, I rolled my eyes at it. But there were a lot of technical issues in this movie that was just like, things would happen. I was like, why did they do that like that? It was weird. It was hard to follow for a lot of the choices that they would make. Not just even story-wise or character-wise or with the dialogue, even though all of those are bad too. They made really bad choices with those. And there were things that you obviously could have just put in there that are like, that would have helped a lot, and they were just totally missing. Story-wise, there's a character that can create portals or whatever. Anya Taylor-Joy's character can like make portals to other dimensions or just to transport. She goes from like one hallway to like another hallway at the end of the movie, and she just bam, like takes a guy out, comes through the portal. And she had left the portal like way in the other hallway. She just shows up like wherever she wants out of the portal. Unless it's random, they don't explain it. But why can't she just teleport out of the facility that they're in? It doesn't make any sense. It's a huge plot hole. I think it stands out to me. I'm like, I don't even know. Maybe she can't control where she goes, and she just teleports wherever. But maybe that bubble that they're holding them in, it's like a glaring like thing. It's like, dude, if she can do that, why can't she? You know, it's a logical question to ask. I don't get why they didn't think that everybody would be asking that, but I don't know. It must have slipped through the cracks of this freaking mess behind the scenes that they had, supposedly. And for reasons like that, if you need any more reason from what I just said to not watch this movie, I don't recommend it. I wouldn't spend money at the theater to do it on Disney Plus or Hulu, which I assume it will inevitably end up there. One of those. I would watch it then, if you're a big superhero fan. As it had some redeeming things. It had some good actors in it. Their performances weren't best because they had nothing to go off of. But if you really want to watch it, I would wait. That's my review for New Mutants, guys. Thanks for hanging out and talking movies with me as always. I will see you guys in the next video.